The year 1991. Leonardo DiCaprio just turned 17, which is only a year younger than most of the women he dates nowadays. Teens are also swimming in their oversized jeans, and Brendan Fraser just dipped his toes into a career path that's going to change his life for the best and the worst. So, let's talk about it.
I'm glad to be here. I wouldn't have it any other way, and I'm grateful to be doing the job that I love.
Now, being an actor, especially making it big as an actor, is no easy feat. I mean, it's always been my perspective that it takes just the right amount of luck and just enough talent to not look like Tommy Wiseau.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
Which really makes sense. In most instances, an actor really needs to find a way to stand out. Think of actors like Jim Carrey, Ryan Gosling, Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan. What do all of these actors have in common? Yes, thank you, they're hot as fuck.
Talented.
They're very talented.
Now, I could never just limit these people based on their looks alone. Come on. Jim, please call. It's been too long. But when we think about movies from the 90s and the 2000s, we tend to think of all of these nostalgic, kinda cheesy, but overall fun movies and TV shows. And I feel like we do a little bit of the same with the actors as well. Now, if we were to take all of those categories that I mentioned previously and combine them into a person, I feel like that person is Brendan Fraser. I mean, The Mummy alone is one of those movies that is just constantly stuck in my subconscious. I just made a Scorpion King reference in my Thor review. If you want to support the channel, go ahead and check that video out. Now, Brendan had an illustrious career and a net worth that proved that all of his hard work and action was finally paying off when suddenly...
Fire Nation attacked.
Jeez, no. You think I'd write better jokes by this point. Now, when Brendan Fraser initially disappeared, I did what most children did. I didn't notice until I was an adult, staring at my ceiling in bed, just wondering where all the things in my life went wrong, and suddenly I thought, man, what happened to Brendan Fraser? And now that I'm an adult, I started doing this thing called research, and not very well, I might add. But as I was going through everything with Brendan Fraser, I started to notice like a trend throughout everything, but in order to understand the trend, I need to give you guys a little bit of background information. Is that okay, class? All right, that's what I thought. When I started college, I took a storytelling class for filmmaking, and I learned one of the most vital storytelling techniques in all of literature and all movies.
The hero's journey was first recognized as a pattern in mythology by Joseph Campbell, who noticed the heroes in mythology typically go through the same 17 stages in their journey towards herodom. Don't worry, I took that quote from the first page of Google, so you know it's correct. This method of storytelling and character development can be found in practically any movie that you use. Spider-Man, Harry Potter, Twilight. This method of storytelling is the foundation for almost every film franchise that we know and love today. But by now, I'm sure you're probably asking yourself, okay, so it applies to movies.
How the hell can you apply this to a person? Maybe you should stop watching so many goddamn movies and stop applying movies to real life situations, you simpleton.
And I'm simply just gonna ignore that question because you're on the other side of the screen. I can't hear you, you fucking moron. And here we are. Let's go ahead and take a nice little trip down the hero's journey of Brendan Fraser. Brendan attended Upper Canada College, a private boarding school in Canada, but while on vacation in London, he watched a theater production for the first time. This began his interest in acting, and eventually Brendan graduated from Cornish College of the Arts in Seattle, Washington. This is where Brendan was able to begin studying and practicing his craft, and eventually graduated in the year 1990. Then 1 year later, Brendan Fraser landed his first acting role in the feature film Dogfight, starring River Phoenix. Fraser met actress Afton Smith while attending a barbecue at Winona Ryder's house on July 4th, 1993. They married on September 27th in 1998 and ended up having 3 sons. Brendan was cast in what would be his largest film franchise yet.
The Egyptian-themed action trilogy The Mummy would move forward and further solidify Brendan Fraser as a household name. The actor ended up suffering several major injuries during the shooting of the 3 films. During the filming of The Mummy in 1999, Fraser was almost choked to death during a hanging scene in the opening of the film. The film series led to Fraser needing numerous surgeries for his back, knee, vocal cords, and more that have yet to be disclosed. In 2003, only 12 years after his career began, Brendan Fraser was allegedly sexually assaulted by Philip Burke, the former head of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. This is the organization that puts together the Golden Globes and is believed to be the reason for his blacklisting. In 2007, Brendan and his ex-wife, Afton Smith, divorced, and while this was initially believed to be completely amicable, unfortunately, the divorce proceedings began to spiral completely out of control, and Brendan was left with a net worth being cut in half and monthly payments of $50,000 for alimony and $25,000 for child support. This annual payment of $900,000 began weighing on Brendan's physical and mental health and sank Brendan's prospects as an actor even lower than they were before. After battling in court with his wife, standing up to sexual harassment, Brendan was left alone and with nothing. Slowly, the flow of work began to dry up, and as he continued to be blacklisted, Brendan would begin to gain weight due to the stress and depression, and his removal from the limelight was complete, as we did not hear from him for the years to come. The year is 2022, and Brendan Fraser is being seen and talked to more than he has in years. Between interviews, new films, and a lot more opportunity being handed to the man who lost it all, it seems like now more than ever, he deserves our support for this comeback.
Brendan has honestly had quite the year in 2022 so far. So, Brendan actually landed the leading role of Firefly in the Batgirl movie. So everyone who's watching this video should go out and support that. Well, shit. In all seriousness though, the whole reason I even decided to make this video was because I saw a clip of Brendan Fraser's standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival for his film, The Whale. The Whale has received praise from both critics and audiences alike, and so far is showing that Brendan might even get the opportunity to not only make this huge comeback for himself, but possibly even the opportunity to win an Oscar for the first time. I decided the best way that I could help would be to inform people of Brendan's life and the challenges that he faced. Also, if you truly want to support Brendan through everything, then please go check out his new film, The Whale. It releases in theaters on December 9th of this year, and the more people that see it and make this movie a success, the more likely that we'll see Brendan a lot more than we have. This isn't an ad, this isn't sponsored. I just know that as fans and as supporters of Brendan Fraser, if we all come together and we make this movie a success, then there's a chance that we'll get George of the Jungle 3. I mean, come on!